For one final time during Training Camp 2020, it's Training Camp Live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, presented by American Airlines. Travel with confidence, the official airlines of the Dallas Cowboys. Kyle Yeomans alongside Nick Eatman. And Nick, it's a little bit different. We got back to the Star after what was Cowboys night up at AT&T Stadium on Sunday night, but a Monday practice still brought that energy and brought the crowd noise with them a little bit to the Ford Center.
Brought the numbers back too. Don't forget that part. It's always good to have the numbers. Even though, we watch this team a lot. We kind of get a good, look on these players and kind of get a good feel, but certainly was nice to kind of get a chance to see that a little bit more. But yeah, you're right. The practice was good. I thought for the most part it was a high energy practice. And this isn't the last one that they have. I mean, for them, it won't be much of a difference, but for us, we get to watch more than like 10 to 15 minutes. But it was good to see the guys out there.
And there is Dak Prescott sporting the red jersey again with the number 4 and the nameplate on the back. Thank goodness for all of the media members that were watching as we take a little bit of an in-depth look here at the quarterbacks, Andy Dalton, Clayton Thorson. These are guys, Nick, that you haven't necessarily gotten a chance to talk about, but what have you liked from the quarterbacks top to bottom?
Well, I like this drill. I like what they're doing with their actually practicing that the pocket collapse and guys are on the ground and you have to keep your head up and you have to keep, you can't be looking at what's down there, but you've got to figure out good pocket presence. And then when all's said and done and you avoid the sack, you got to make an accurate throw. And I watching this drill and watching these guys throw it into these, those areas there, I think Andy Dalton is really, really good at it. He's impressed me the most. Dak's been, better, but I just like the fact that they're practicing that, knowing that plays break down. It happens all the time. What are you going to do about it?
You got to have that peripheral vision as well, working around it, and that's not easy to keep your head up and avoid the whatever the pads down are on the ground. You can't avoid the pad in this drill, anyways. As you see, both the offensive players and the defensive players pretending or not pretending, but practicing how to wrap up and how to actually go through a form tackle, Nick.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised why they got the ball in the other hand, but I mean I guess that happens. But yeah, I mean this is all you're going to get for these players in preseason when in terms of getting hit and tackling. I mean the CD Lamb's getting tackled right there. Michael Gallup. I mean the first time they're going to get hit is against the Rams in 2 weeks. So it's been tough to simulate that. But at the same time, you got to remember some of the star players back in the day, they don't get a lot of preseason reps anyway. So it's probably something that's very normal to them.
Now, and you can also tell from a defensive standpoint, some of the guys who maybe have had to deal with some injuries. We mentioned Leighton Vander Esch on a Training Camp Live earlier in the summer, talking about how he needed that first hit coming back from injury. And you could tell there was a little bit of pop. It may not look like they're bringing a ton of heat. That time, Jalen Smith kind of going around a guy to tackle him to the ground. But some of the guys ended up bringing some of the pop and bringing that collision just to get used to the click of the pads and finally getting some of that head-on stuff that you'll see whenever the game comes around. Now, we did get to catch a couple plays, and we've got 9 of them for you here on Training Camp Live, most of them having to do with the passing game. Quarterbacks very active as Dak Prescott this time completes it to Noah Brown. Good coverage, though, here, Nick, from Trayvon Diggs, who was impressive yet again today.
Yeah, well, he's always there. He's always trying to make the plays. Got those long arms. He's trying to put it in there. But again, Noah Brown, that's a big body receiver, and he has a chance. Stephen Jones talked about him today on the radio on 105.3 The Fan about second tier receivers that have done a good job, and he's kind of him and Cedric Wilson have done that, and that's the type of play right there is just keeping the cornerback off your back and still able to make the catch there.
And speaking of Cedric Wilson, how about another dart here from Dak Prescott, finding Cedric Wilson over the middle in a slant, beat Darryl Worley 40 yards to the house, untouched for Cedric Wilson. It's like, along with Noah Brown, he just continues to make plays.
Yeah, but when people ask who's the MVP of that of the team, it's Zeke. I mean, all you have to do is
Yeah.
just, I mean, that's what you just, if you watch the middle linebacker, I mean, he's got to get Zeke. You have to, and all the other guys have got to go there and look at the passing lane that is created because of it.
Mm.
So, to me, when you think about great players on this team, it starts with Zeke. You've got to stop the run, and when you have to commit to it, things like this happen. So great pass, great catch, and run after the catch. But it starts with that ability to run and knowing that you have to stop it.
Here's a
It's
pass
a nice
breakup from
defensive play.
Anthony Brown over Noah Brown.
Yeah, they, I want to see this right hand. It looks pretty. Yeah, it's down. That's a good play. That's a good play by Anthony Brown. A lot of times you see it in there, but then he's got the other hand wrapped around. I think it was a good play. And I don't even know, is he getting the ball, or is he tugging on the arm there? Which is, that works too. It doesn't matter. You just got to make sure that they don't catch the ball. That's probably one Noah Brown thinks he should have had, especially when you're fighting for a roster spot here. You got to come up with a play like that.
And you were a little bit worried about Brown there maybe being a little early. I think this might have been a little early from Leighton Vander Esch. It was a pass breakup, knocking it away from Dalton Schultz, but here you see that left arm kind of up and over the chest. Would you call that if you were
No,
an
no,
official?
no. That stays in the pocket right there, because that's not much of a tug on there, and that's Dalton Schultz has got, you got to be able to kind of fight for that a little bit more, and maybe get your hands out for it. I think that's more of one of those. I mean, it's slowed down like that, but if you just run it fast, I don't think I. Nah, I don't think you can call that one. I think we keep
All
the
right,
flag in the
so
pocket.
head official Nick Eatman says that is a clean pass breakup from Leighton Vander Esch. Moving on to what is another Cedric Wilson catch over the middle. This one might have gone for a touchdown. It's right there at the 1 yard line. They called it down at the one just for the goal line plays that were going to come next. But you had Wilson over the top of Thompson, Leighton Vander Esch in the vicinity. But once again, he comes down with the football.
Yeah, nice catch. Nice throw, nice catch. I'd like to see if Leighton was going to dive in there and try to, separate that. But, when you just look at what Cedric Wilson's game has evolved to, plays like that over the middle, we're seeing some of these slants. You're really seeing the benefits of him working all summer long with Dak in his big backyard and all that. You're seeing
Yeah.
that they have a really good connection. And that's nice to have. A lot of times the fourth and fifth receivers connect more with the backups, but Dak has been able to work with him a lot, and the other receivers as well too. So Cedric Wilson, I think, is your fourth receiver. He's your backup punt returner. He might get some punt return snaps as well. He's made the team as far as I'm concerned.
And I love this play from Trayvon Diggs over the middle of the field, right in the middle of the end zone. And Dak Prescott instead has to force that incomplete. You see the right arm of Trayvon Diggs coming in to knock that football away and into the net back behind the goalpost. I think this is just fantastic coverage on what is a very, very tough route to defend.
Yeah, that. That just goes to show, like what we've been saying. This guy, he just competes. He's just going for every ball, and he's going to give up some plays. We talked about that. He will. He'll give up some plays because of that aggressive nature. He'll get some double moves on him, but I just like the way he competes on every route, every snap, and it's very good to see what Trayvon Diggs. He's been the second best rookie in the draft class, which is what you expect, right? You expect your second round pick to be the second best, and he has
I
been.
think this. I think this next play, though, might be my favorite. It's once again a goal line play off of a play action. He looks over to the right and he finds Hicatini in the back of the end zone. Hicatini with a Houdini act, disappearing behind the bar. But I promise you, both feet were in. He did make the grab. They called it a good touchdown. They reset after this, but it was another great grab from a tight end. We talked about Dalton Schultz. We talked about Sean McKeon, but this time it's Hicatini's turn to make a grab.
Yeah, I really thought Hicatini would be the third tight end on this team this year. I thought he would make
Wow.
the team. He had a great season at the end last year on the practice squad. I mean, he was just killing them in practice, and to the point where I thought he was really going to make that leap. And I think he's had a good camp. The problem is Dalton Schultz has been better, and he's been better in the passing game. And so I think he's solidified himself as I don't even like calling Dalton Schultz the third tight end because he's playing so
Wow.
much. But you do think Jarwin and Blake Bell are going to probably get more of the snaps. But Hicatini, if there's a spot for the practice squad, I mean, I think he would be a good one.
You see the excitement from Dalton Schultz in that play as well. Here's Andy Dalton trying to find John V. Johnson on a slant, and instead Deontay Burton had other ideas, knocks this one straight out of the hands. And that's just textbook coverage from the corner.
Yeah, this would be one of those plays that you would probably, the defense would challenge. They'd like to see if he had two steps. So that was a fumble and all that. To me, it looks like just an incomplete pass, but great job. That's what they practice. Deontay Burton, they practice the time we saw it today. The ball catch, turn, and punch it out, and that's exactly what he took that drill and took it to the field.
Then the final play of Training Camp Live was actually the final play of practice today. And once again, play action, rollout, bootleg, and then there's Aaron Parker, the undrafted free agent out of Rhode Island, has his man beat by more than a couple steps, and he's able to open up Andy Dalton for what is an easy pitch and catch for the touchdown.
It's easy because Andy Dalton has got skills. I mean that right there is a very tough throw to make. You are seeing it more and more in today's NFL. These guys are returning and throwing across their body like that. Dak's really good at it. I think Deshaun Watson is really good. Of course, Patrick Mahomes can make any throw, but I like that. I mean, to put that kind of zip on the ball, rolling left right there, and it's got to be in one spot. If it's a little bit behind, it could be a 100-yard interception return, and if it's too far, then I think you got another defender over there as well. So it's got to be a perfect throw, and it was, and so that he's done a nice job. He's impressed me this camp. I can't say I watched a lot of Bengals football, but I never was a big Andy Dalton fan, and I'm not a TCU fan and all that, so I don't have all the excitement for him. But as the backup quarterback, a guy that I think is pushing Dak, not for snaps, but pushing him to just be better every day, and I think he's done a really good job of that.
I completely agree. I think he brings an added element to this team that the offense hasn't necessarily had in the past, and something that Dak Prescott hasn't had behind him on the depth chart in quite some time. And you see it with plays like that, how much it actually does impact the offense and could play a role depending on how healthy everyone stays throughout the 2020 season. But that's going to do it here for the final Training Camp Live. Thanks so much for joining us throughout the course of this summer. We'll be with you on DallasCowboys.com as we lead into what will be Week 1 on September 13th, the Cowboys and the Rams. For Nick Eatman, I'm Kyle Yeomans. That'll do it here for Training Camp Live. We'll see you next time.